Why making love with a narcissist is so delicious and addictive. There's a strange allure to the relationship with a narcissist, a magnetic pull that often draws you in, making you feel like the most important person in the world, but at the same time, leaving you utterly bewildered. You might find yourself caught in an emotional whirlwind where passion and excitement are at their peak. Yet, once the storm calms, you're left questioning your feelings, confused but still yearning for more. What is it about being with a narcissist that feels so intoxicating, so delicious, and strangely addictive? This is a question many people grapple with once they've experienced the captivating attraction of a narcissistic lover. But why is it so hard to resist? Why do we often feel an unexplainable pull toward these seemingly self-absorbed individuals, even though they can be emotionally draining, manipulative, and difficult to understand? In this video, we'll uncover the psychology behind the magnetic allure of narcissists in intimate relationships and explain the seductive dynamics that make being with them so difficult to walk away from. What makes narcissism so irresistible? When you first meet a narcissist, there's a magnetic pull that makes you feel as though you've encountered someone almost too perfect to be true. Their charm, their attention, and the way they make you feel like the absolute center of their universe is nothing short of intoxicating. It's a rush of energy that sweeps you off your feet, and in that moment, you can't help but feel deeply special, as though you found someone who truly sees you. The beauty of it all lies in the fact that narcissists are experts at creating the illusion of being a perfect partner, especially in the early stages of a relationship. They instinctively know exactly what to say and do to make you feel adored, admired, and wanted, often in a way that feels incredibly validating to your sense of self. The emotional experience they provide in the beginning is so powerful that it can completely cloud your judgment, making it difficult to see beyond the initial allure. But what is it about their charm that makes it feel so irresistibly delicious? Why do you find yourself drawn to them, despite your better judgment? The answer is rooted in a complex mix of psychological dynamics, primarily revolving around the narcissist's ability to manipulate emotions and the human need for validation. Narcissists are skilled at offering intense affection in sporadic bursts, a tactic that creates an emotional roller coaster of highs and lows. These moments of intense passion or praise are unpredictable, and that very unpredictability is what keeps you hooked. It's the thrill of not knowing when the next high will come that creates a constant undercurrent of excitement and anticipation. Your emotions are on a constant ride of elation, then sudden drops, and it's this tension that makes the experience feel like an emotional roller coaster, where every turn leaves you craving more. After all, roller coasters are addictive, and when you're caught in this whirlwind of highs and lows, it becomes hard to step away. This psychological pattern taps into your deeper emotional wiring. The unpredictable nature of their affection, whether it's through moments of intense closeness followed by distance or sporadic compliments that feel like rare treasures, creates a dynamic where you never know when the next validation will come. And just like any form of intermittent reward, the uncertainty itself becomes an addictive force. You might not fully recognize it at first, but each time they provide you with that rare moment of adoration or intense emotional connection, it creates a craving for more. You start to seek out these moments, becoming so invested in them that you overlook the emotional cost. The unpredictable affection of a narcissist becomes a kind of emotional drug, and just like any addiction, you find yourself returning again and again, hoping for the next rush of validation. The dance of validation and manipulation. Narcissists are known for their ability to manipulate and control. In a relationship, they often use flattery, admiration, and intense moments of passion to keep you hooked. It's as if they are crafting a dream, one where you are their star, and they are your devoted admirer. This is what makes intimacy with a narcissist feel so powerful. The emotional highs are as high as the emotional lows are deep, but the highs come with just enough frequency to make you yearn for them. Their emotional manipulations, whether through love bombing, gaslighting, or playing hot and cold, are designed to make you feel like you're in a relationship that is uniquely deep and intense. They often create an illusion of connection that feels like something beyond ordinary love, a love that feels rare, irresistible, and yes, addictive. But what you might not realize is that this is precisely the cycle they've drawn you into. Narcissists thrive on the emotional energy you give them, and they know how to play on your emotions to keep you constantly coming back for more. In a relationship with a narcissist, every moment of affection or love can feel like a victory, a precious moment where you feel seen, valued, and important. When they shower you with affection, you feel validated in a way that feels almost too good to be true. The problem is, once you've experienced this validation, you crave it. It becomes your emotional drug. The moment it fades, you find yourself longing to experience it again, and that longing becomes the driving force that keeps you tethered to the narcissist. The intensity of physical intimacy. Intimacy with a narcissist is an intense, passionate experience. On the surface, it might seem like they are incredibly generous lovers, showering you with attention and pleasure. But there's more at play here. Narcissists are often fixated on their own needs, and their desire for validation extends into the bedroom. What seems like a highly gratifying experience for you might actually be a way for them to control you emotionally. Their desire for admiration can manifest physically. A narcissist might go out of their way to make you feel incredible during intimate moments, but this is often in pursuit of a deeper need. The need to maintain control and receive constant praise. You are not just their lover, but their audience, someone to reflect their greatness back to them. For some, this creates an experience of physical intimacy that is incredibly powerful, leaving you craving more of the connection. But here's where things get tricky. Once they've gotten the praise they need, the energy can shift. If they feel threatened or insecure, they may retreat emotionally or even become distant, which can make you feel confused, desperate, and unsure. This push-pull dynamic, where you feel on top of the world one moment and emotionally drained the next, only increases the addictive quality of the relationship. It's like chasing a high that always seems just within reach, but never fully attainable. The psychology of addiction. Why you can't let go. The addictive quality of being in a relationship with a narcissist can largely be explained by how our brains respond to something called intermittent reinforcement. This psychological concept, which has been extensively studied, refers to a powerful dynamic where individuals become more deeply attached to a behavior or relationship when the rewards, whether it's love, attention, or affection, are given sporadically rather than consistently. In essence, the unpredictability of the rewards is what triggers a strong addictive response in the brain. When you experience these sporadic moments of affection from a narcissist, your brain reacts in a way that encourages you to continue seeking out those moments despite the emotional cost. In a relationship with a narcissist, the validation you receive comes in waves, with intense emotional highs followed by periods of withdrawal or emotional unavailability. These periods of affection and attention can feel like emotional highs, but when they suddenly disappear or fade away, it creates a deep sense of emotional emptiness or longing. Your brain becomes wired to crave those moments of affection, and the uncertainty of when the next wave of love and validation will come intensifies the desire for more. It's this very unpredictability, the constant ebb and flow of affection, that feeds the addictive cycle, making it increasingly difficult to walk away. You never know when the next high will come, which is precisely what keeps you attached to the narcissist. Each time you experience one of these emotional highs, your brain releases dopamine, which is the neurotransmitter responsible for feelings of pleasure and reward. This surge of dopamine creates a strong association between the narcissist and the pleasure you feel in those moments of validation. Over time, this connection becomes ingrained in your neural pathways, which makes it harder and harder to resist returning to the source of those highs. The more your brain becomes accustomed to this intermittent reinforcement, the stronger the pull becomes, even when you're fully aware of the emotional toll it's taking on you. Despite the hurt, confusion, and manipulation, you find yourself craving more of that pleasure, the next wave of affection that can provide you with the validation you're seeking. The constant cycles of idealization, where you're made to feel like the most important person in the world, followed by devaluation, where you're ignored or treated poorly, are a key part of the narcissist's tactic. These cycles are designed to keep you hooked. Even though you may feel hurt or even betrayed by their behavior, the emotional highs you experience when they show you affection can be so overwhelming that they overshadow the emotional pain. The excitement and the thrill of feeling truly seen, wanted, and loved make it hard to resist the pull, even when the relationship feels unstable or toxic. It's this emotional roller coaster, the intense highs followed by the devastating lows, that makes the cycle so difficult to break. Each time you go through this, you find yourself willing to overlook the negative behaviors or even rationalize them in order to keep the positive moments coming. It's the emotional unpredictability that keeps you coming back. When you're caught in this pattern, it's easy to become so fixated on the idea of reliving those euphoric moments that you ignore the pain that comes in between. The highs become addictive, not just because of the pleasure they bring, but because they provide you with something deeper, a sense of validation and self-worth that is often missing from other areas of your life. The narcissist's ability to make you feel special, even if only for a moment, is enough to keep you attached to them, despite everything else. The struggle, understanding the danger. At the beginning of a relationship with a narcissist, everything feels exciting and full of promise. The attention, the flattery, and the intense emotional highs can be incredibly intoxicating, making you feel seen, desired, and special in ways you may not have experienced before. However, as the relationship progresses, it becomes increasingly important to acknowledge the darker side of being involved with a narcissist. While the early stages can seem like a whirlwind of passion and connection, the reality of being with someone who has narcissistic tendencies begins to take a significant toll on your mental and emotional well-being over time. As you continue to feed into the narcissist's constant need for validation, admiration, and attention, the dynamic of the relationship shifts. Initially, it may seem like the narcissist is giving you the affection and validation you crave, but in reality, they are simply using you as a source of fuel for their own ego. Narcissists often lack the ability to truly empathize with others, and as a result, they may not care about your needs beyond the gratification they receive from you. The attention they offer is typically superficial, aimed at reinforcing their sense of self-importance, rather than genuinely connecting with you. This one-sided dynamic gradually drains you emotionally, leaving you feeling exhausted, confused, and often questioning your own worth. In the early stages, you may find yourself constantly seeking their approval, eager for their affection and attention. The narcissist might show you just enough love to keep you hooked, but as time goes on, it becomes clear that their affection is fleeting and self-serving. You may feel like you're walking on an emotional tightrope, unsure of when the next moment of validation will come or when the coldness and withdrawal will set in. The unpredictability of their behavior can leave you feeling disoriented and insecure. This confusion, combined with the emotional drain, can cause you to question your self-worth as you begin to wonder whether you are truly deserving of love and attention, or if your value is simply dependent on what the narcissist gives you. Understanding why the relationship feels so addictive is crucial for breaking free from the cycle. It's important to realize that this dynamic is not your fault. Narcissistic relationships are designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of seeking validation, receiving intermittent affection, and enduring periods of emotional withdrawal. The narcissist knows exactly how to manipulate your emotions to keep you coming back, even when the relationship is taking a toll on your mental and emotional health. Recognizing these patterns and understanding the psychological mechanisms at play is the first step toward regaining control over your life and starting the healing process. By becoming aware of the toxic dynamics and the emotional manipulation that characterize a narcissistic relationship, you can begin to take steps to protect yourself. Acknowledging that the love and validation you are receiving are not genuine, but rather a way for the narcissist to feed their own needs, is an empowering realization. It allows you to break free from the cycle of emotional highs and lows and start focusing on your own emotional well-being. The road to recovery may be difficult, but understanding the nature of the relationship gives you the clarity needed to regain control and start healing. Breaking free from the addiction. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the complex and seductive dynamics of narcissistic relationships. Understanding why making love with a narcissist can be so delicious and addictive helps shed light on the psychological mechanisms at play, but it's important to remember that this addiction is not a healthy one. While the highs may feel exhilarating, the lows can be damaging. If you find yourself caught in this cycle, it's crucial to seek support, set boundaries, and prioritize your emotional well-being. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might benefit from this information. Your support helps me continue to create content that helps you understand the complexities of relationships and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and take care.